560 The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. We're going to get to the Motor City Madman, Ted Nugent, in just a second. I just wanted to follow up on our conversation about the Boy Scouts. Got a couple of messages in. George in Will County was an Eagle Scout. He made mention, it took me 9 years to become an Eagle Scout. Now I'm hearing you can get it in 3 to 5.
What?
Yeah, everything gets dumbed down and LGBTQ'd up, doesn't it? But he said alternatives to Boy Scouts, or Scouting America now that they've completely capitulated, Trail Life and Pathfinders are, and we also got another suggestion, one I hadn't heard of before, but I looked them up. It looks like it's right. Looks like it's a good recommendation. Royal Rangers. Doesn't sound right, but anyway, those are some alternatives if you've got a young man of that age, and Scouting America no longer holds appeal for you for all the obvious reasons that we were discussing. All right, a full 180 away from what Scouting America is doing to what's happening in Aurora on May 18th. Patriots Fest. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. We talked to some of the artists that are performing already. Matt Oakley, Creed Fisher, Outlaw Country. I like that guy. I liked his music too. And that is at the Piazza in Aurora, May 18th. Tickets are available at patriotsfest.com, patriotsfest.com. And remember, all these acts, and it's an eclectic group, are coming together to raise money, not make money, raise money for veterans organizations. Phil Oakley was on talking about the great work of the organizations they're supporting, the great work those organizations do to support our military men and women. So it's 100% of the proceeds going to serve America's underserved veterans. And, of course, one of the headliners is our next guest. He is Ted Nugent. Needs no introduction. Ted Nugent, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Dan, Amy, thank you very much. God bless you. Happy springtime turkey season to everybody in the Windy City and beyond.
Turkey season,
Turkey
yeah.
season.
Everything is through the lens of hunting. I get it.
Yes, it's all. I'm so organic. I'm the ultimate organic radio guest.
You really are. You know what? And it's interesting you say that, because the last time I saw you in person was when you and your lovely wife did your podcast from Seed to Table in Naples a couple of years ago. You remember that?
Was that fun or what? How about
That was
my
awesome.
wife, Jermaine Nugent? Come on, give it to her, man. She's the
You know,
greatest.
it was awesome. And you know what was cool about that? You know, down here in Southwest Florida, it was like you had, guys like me in golf shirts, and you had the guys that came in motorcycle. I mean, the crowd was so eclectic. It was a real tribute to your music, your popularity. But anyway, tell us about your interest. I mean, I sort of know, but I want to give you the forum. Your interest in headlining this Patriots Fest.
Well, I'm 75 years clean and sober, so my radar has picked up on some accurate information and evidence, and I've come to the conclusion by the time I was about 15 that freedom is not free, and we like to pay back and give back and honor and revere and respect and say thank you to the heroes of the U.S. military. I get to hang out with them every day. We're doing a Wounded Warrior event here in Waco, Texas, today and tomorrow. I'm contacted by these heroes of the Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, Green Beret, Delta Force. Dan, Amy, I get to hang out and train with these heroes every day, so I understand that when a guy comes up to the campfire in a wheelchair that he gave his legs for his oath to the Constitution. So I learned way back when I started getting educated on the not-so-mean streets of America after graduating from the anti-education system of America, that these lived dearly for my American dream. So everybody of conscience gives back. And that, by the way, that's just not the people performing in Aurora, but all the people associated with them, their band, their crew, their families, their friends, co-workers, people at church and school. So we're saying thank you to the military heroes in every way we can, every time we can.
You said that you realized at 15 that you were, patriotic and that you want to help out others. What happened, or what was your aha moment?
I graduated from St. Viator High School in Arlington Heights. I went there for 2 years after coming from Detroit. And the Vietnam veterans started contacting me because they'd hear my radio interviews with the Amboy Dukes, celebrating the Second Amendment, the weekends with my dad and family at the shooting range, the discipline, the marksmanship, martial arts of archery, the hunting lifestyle. And so the heroes not only of Vietnam, but heroes from World War II would track me down through my booking agency, and they just want to talk to me because they'd never heard a rock and roll interview talking about conservation, being clean and sober, and aim small, miss small, marksmanship fun. So it was a unique relationship I had with them, and that has expanded and just grown over the years, where I'm involved with all the military charities, and I'm so moved, stimulated, honored, inspired by these heroes. They're special people. They're not just warriors and heroes. They're really smart. They're really down to earth. They celebrate God, family, country, Constitution, Bill of Rights, law and order. All that radical stuff. That's what we'll be celebrating at the Patriot Fest in Aurora.
Well, that's how upside down things are, right? Those are the outlier views. That is what's considered subversive now: law and order, patriotism, service.
Isn't that strange? Well, Dan and Amy, I think I'd like to mention that I will always be a Boy Scout, and here it's just in: men can't get pregnant. How about that?
No. Birthing people?
How about that?
Now, Ted, Amy's a little shy, so I'm going to have to prompt her here. But she worked on TV news in Detroit, and she had some interactions with you, and she'd like to, walk down memory lane and see if you remember. Go ahead,
well,
Amy.
Amy can tell you
Don't
how
be
much
shy.
fun I am in person, right, Amy?
Pardon?
You can share how much fun I am in person.
Oh,
right?
you are. You were great because Bill Bonds was anchoring the show, and you got there early, and I was a nightside reporter at WJBK, Fox 2, Chicago.
Sure, I
mean
remember
Chicago,
well.
Detroit. And you remember Bill? And you
Sure,
were
absolutely.
bow hunting. You had a fake deer out, and then you taught me how to bow hunt. Do you remember that? I'm blonde.
Well, I tell you this: my wife, she had never shot a bow or never hunted, never understood the truisms of scientific conservation that hunting, fishing, and trapping personifies. And you have to admit, when you grab that bow, that when I shot my bow this morning, Shemina and I shot our bows this morning. We do it every day. It's kind of like a soul cleansing mantra. And as you come to full draw with a bow and arrow, there's no Joe Biden. I mean, who doesn't want to pursue that sanctity? So, yeah, the mystical flight of the arrow is a guiding light. It's the origins of Zen. It's the origins of the martial arts. And I've been doing it since I could walk. Born in Detroit in 1948. My dad was already a follower of Red Bear. And we bow hunt every year. It's a big part of the American family conservation lifestyle. It's very, very important.
Well, thanks for teaching me how to do it.
Well, and Amy would like if on May 18th in Aurora, Amy would like for you to teach her how to field dress a deer too.
Well, I'll bring a fresh
level.
roadkill, and we'll turn it into family-sized portions. How about
But
that?
perfect.
I love
That'd be
venison.
perfect.
Great this
Yes.
time of year.
So just on the music scene, since we have you for a minute, who are some of the artists that you like today? I mean, I know there's a lot of legends like yourself that are still playing and touring into their 70s and even 80s. But what about anybody that is younger and up and coming that you like?
Well, I'm still playing like an animal. I got a band here in Texas. We're doing Ted Nugent speakeasies on the weekends. I'm actually playing a feed mill this Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It'd be like the Amboy Dukes, 1964. It's just as raw and primal and more fun than ever because of the caliber of musicians that seem to be everywhere and always at my side. But think of the name Jared James Nichols. He's a young guitar player. A guy named Wes Jeans. We just did a jam session up in Oklahoma. And I got to tell you, as we were spurred on and so inspired by the Chuck Berrys and Bo Diddleys and Little Richards and the original Firebreeders, that raw, exciting, primal scream of the original rhythm and blues and rock and roll, it is so alive and well. It is so much fun. More, dare I say, more now than ever, because it's just a couple of buddies and I. We pull in, we throw our amps up, like playing at the Cellar in Arlington Heights, and we just plug in and start playing James Brown and Chuck Berry music and all the Ted Nugent classics. So I'm lucky that I think being clean and sober for 75 years still keeps things real and raw and honest. And the musicians I'm surrounded by is a real, real blessing.
Now, I know the Patriots Fest is not political, but Ted Nugent, the American Citizen, is Ted Nugent, the American Citizen, going to be doing much on the campaign trail in the coming months leading into November?
Well, let's clarify one thing. What isn't political? Our rights, our freedoms are based on meeting the king's thugs at Concord Bridge and shooting them in the face and writing down things that the king wouldn't allow us to do because we knew that they were sacred rights individually to each of us from God. So every day you have happiness, it's a result of people participating in the sacred experiment in self-government and demanding constitutional accountability from our elected employees. What isn't political? Everything is political. So people say, hey, I'm not into politics. Well, then you invited this snake into the White House. Thanks for nothing. This is an experiment in self-government, and we're all supposed to be participating. And that's why people call me a radical, and I accept the title very proudly.
Now, are you friends with President Trump?
Yeah, I've worked with the great president. I mean, what a great man. Boy, just the persecution he's victimized by this anti-justice, by the bureaucrat punks in Uncle Sam's gang. It's just a treacherous, treacherous time. He is a great man. During his 4 years, we had the greatest quality of life. Anybody want to debate me, call 1-800-NUMBNUT, and I'll have Michael Moore explain why personal hygiene is superfluous. I mean,
he does smile.
Donald Trump is a great leader. I'm in touch with his team all the time. I've done the national anthem at dozens of his rallies, and I will continue to do so because if we don't get Trump elected, we will continue going down the toilet to become a suburb of Cuba, thanks to Joe Biden and his corrupt criminal gangbangers that get control of America right now.
All right, wait. I just want to make sure I would get that number right because I want to pass it around Chicago. It's 1-800-NUMBNUT. Is that the number to call?
1-800-NUMBNUT, and you can only speak in Spanish, by the way.
All right, Patriots Fest, May 18th in Aurora at the Piazza. PatriotsFest.com for tickets. PatriotsFest.com for tickets. 100% of the proceeds go to serve our military veterans through organizations, through these nonprofits that have been selected. And the Motor City Madman is a headliner, Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks, guys. Live it up. Happy springtime. And thank everybody for all this support. Go to tednugent.com and see how we can help these heroes every day.
Oh, you're the best. I love your spirit, love your energy, and love what you're doing. Thank you so much. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to Land, where you can do things like clean your gutters, pay tolls, and even get the wrong thing you ordered. We got it all. Potholes, people talking at the movies, and don't forget about flat tires when it's raining. It's Land.
Life on a boat is way more relaxing, so customize your coverage with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. And relax, knowing you got the coverage you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 rating based on 2022 boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Health.